Hello and welcome to the launch of Formula Student Car 2015. I'm sorry that I'm unable to welcome you in person, but I hope that you will all enjoy this very special evening for the university. The Formula Student Competition is Europe's most significant educational motorsport event and is viewed by the industry as the testing ground for the next generation of world-class engineers. The car we are launching this evening is the culmination of a year's intensive work by a dedicated group of undergraduate students who've been supported throughout the process by an expert team of faculty, technicians and mentors. The students have conceived, designed and built this car to compete against approximately 130 other universities from over 30 countries. This event offers our students the opportunity to deliver a complex product in a highly demanding and competitive environment, while also showcasing engineering excellence at Sussex. And in this, our 6th year competing, we've been incredibly privileged to have artist María Inés Aguirre adorn the body of the car with her work. I hope it will be our most successful competition to date, and I look forward to joining the team at Silverstone next month. So I'm sure you'll join me now in wishing Team Sussex the best of luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Atkins!
Lords, Your Worship, ladies and gentlemen, the team. We're so lucky. Well, the Formula student team here at Sussex is run as a typical Formula One team, properly. They have a chief executive officer, and in this case, it's our overall team leader, and that's John. We call him Harry McPhee. Harry, will you come up and introduce your project team leaders to us all so we know what you do and how you go about it? Harry.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for coming to our 2015 launch party tonight. As Richard said, my name is Harry McVicker, and I've had the good fortune of leading these 13 wonderful gentlemen in building what we hope is a very successful Formula student car. Now, the team has been in operation for 6 years at the university, and over those 6 years, there's been a very large accumulation of knowledge in how to build these sort of cars. And that led us, at the start of this year, to developing 3 main aims for what we wanted to do. We wanted to build a light car, we wanted to build a powerful car, and most importantly, we wanted to build a very well-tested car. I'm now going to hand you over to the first of our sub-team leaders, Alexander Bartlett, who will explain to you how the team went about meeting these goals. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alex, and I am the Chassis and Suspension sub-team leader for this year's Formula Student car. My sub-team is responsible for not only converting the power from the engine into straight-line speed, but in also ensuring the car is able to change direction as well as stop as quickly and as easily as possible. This year we have managed to achieve a 25% weight reduction in the system, as well as reducing a lot of the bump-induced toe change. We have also created a custom-made front impact attenuator for the car, which will heavily help with points at the competition. I'll hand you over to Anthony Chan, who will speak about the powertrain system.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Chan, and I'm the powertrain sub-team leader. I specialize in the drivetrain. Within the powertrain, we focus on the power source itself, the aspiration system, the drivetrain, the cooling system, the fuel system, and the gear linkage. We've made efforts towards weight reduction in the system. For instance, a 75% weight reduction in the gear linkage bell crank, and a 65% weight reduction in the differential mount assembly. We also took the car to TDI, where Sam Borgman managed to increase our peak torque by 4% and our peak power by 7%. I'll now hand you over to Tio, our vehicle integration sub-team leader.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tio. I'm the leader of vehicle integration. vehicle integration's role is to ensure that all the different components of the car works together properly. My role is the driver control, and this year we have made a custom molded seat to ensure that the driver's fully comfortable in the car. And we have also made the lightest bodywork of the car compared to previous years. And we have also applied the artwork of María to the bodywork this year. And I'll now pass on to Andreas, who will talk more about the electronics.
Hello everyone, I'm Andreas Presas. I was leading the electronics sub-team for this year's car, and our focus was towards the electronic engine control as well as driving assisting systems like a fully operational dashboard and launch control, which will be proven particularly useful for the acceleration event. This time, for the first time, TS15 is going to feature a fully operational telemetry system which is going to collecting data while the car is going to be on track in Silverstone. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass the speech to Harry McVicker.
Now, with a project like this, the team that we see here is only part of the story, really. And there is also a large number of faculty members and university staff who are also heavily involved with the project. So now me and my gorgeous assistant Edward would like to call a few of you up and give you a token of our gratitude for the work that you've all done this year. So I'd like to start, first of all, by thanking our host for the evening, Mr. Dick Atkins.
Thank you, team. Gratefully appreciated.
Next, I would like to thank our head of department, Diane Miners, for keeping us on the straight and narrow all year. And I
am just worried after 4 years they don't know their head of department's actually Helen Prance and their head of school.
Apologies for that, Helen. Okay, now next up we'd like to thank the first of our team patrons this evening, Rupert Bravery, who is also the representative of our largest sponsor, Mobil One. The second patron that we would like to thank up this evening would be Jerry Hulford, but I believe he couldn't make it this evening. I was informed that his wife was here representing him as well. Okay, but Rupert's representing his wife now as well, so Rupert's going to come and collect another bottle of wine for Jerry. Okay, we'll bring it down to him later on then. Yeah, put it back on the table. Okay. Now, a lot of the stuff we do is also requires a lot of technical help, and the next 5 people who I want to thank have been heavily involved with that side of things. So first of all, I want to ask Chang Wang to come up, because he's been heavily influential with the computerized modeling and that side of the design work for the project this year. So thank you very much, Chang. And of course, nothing that we do with the design side would be possible without the manufacturing team down in the Pevensey workshop. So we'd like to call up Peter Henderson and Alan to come and collect some bottles of wine as well. Peter, you've got a small one on your lap there, but if you can make it out, that'd be brilliant. Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan.
Peter. Cheers. Okay. And lastly, but most certainly not least, we would like to thank the workshop staff up at the John Clifford West workshop where we are for helping us out with all the manufacturing work that we try and do, and for basically putting up with us in the workshop all year. So if, I think Tim's not here, but I think if Kevin Brady would like to come up, I think we have something. Kevin's had to go as well, has he? Okay, we'll save that one back for him then. So yes, thanks. So thank you for everybody who's helped us out this year, and I'd now like to hand you back to Dick, who's going to tell you more about Formula Students.
Well, thank you, Harry. Well done. Well, everybody, I'm standing here this evening actually wearing two hats. And I'm sort of a split personality, if you like. With one hat, I'm a supervisor for these great young people here behind me. And the other hat is I'm a judge for the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, where when they are at Silverstone, I shall be amongst the team of judges, no affiliation with Sussex, of course, but seeing how they compare with all the others. Because, you know, as our Vice-Chancellor said, it's a tremendous event. It's a unique event in all the universities' calendars, really, worldwide. It's a totally global event. As our Vice-Chancellor said, over 130 universities worldwide. This year again, we've got an entry from Australia, Egypt for the second time running, India now, 4 universities in India. We've even got Gaza Strip, and then a whole lot in Europe, from Austria, Germany, Finland, Spain, Portugal, you name it. Every country bar Belgium, unfortunately, but never mind. And of course, a few from North America. So we're up against the creme de la creme. There's no doubt about it. And to be there at all is significant. But we're going to do really very, very well indeed this year. I know we are. The amount of background work that's been done has been splendid. Well, the design and the manufacture and the building of the car has given the students a true insight, really, into what life is like outside these walls of academia. It's a real world out there. It's a hard world. You've got to take hard knocks. You mustn't believe people when they say, oh yes, we'll deliver on Tuesday. You've got to follow it up. They're learning slowly. Some have got the message, some have yet to get it, but they're there. It's been a baptism of fire. I've seen them in near tears after a certain person has been saying, you will do, why haven't you done it? Which is excellent. It needs to be done. It's really good. I think they've all gained from the experience. And, well, the team have yet to get to Silverstone. They'll be there in July. It's not many days away now. Immediately after the British Grand Prix, finishes on Sunday. We're there on Wednesday. So, to get us all in the mood, just think about it. Let's have a look at last year's event. Last year, we did very, very well until the endurance event, when unfortunately we boobed a little bit. But never mind, never mind. They were the first car out, which was first class. They were so good that the scrutineers asked other universities to look at our car, our Sussex car, and they said, this is how it should be done. And that is really first class. So they did very, very well, and I'm very proud of them all. So they did a good job. Well, this year, for the first time, this year, for the very first time, we're entering 2 teams. Now, the gentlemen we saw at the back initially, with Harry and co, they were called Class 1. They have to design and build a car, and they race it. Class 2 is leading up to that, when they have to design certain aspects of the car, and they have to answer questions on the business, on the design, and so on. And Class 2 team will be the backbone of next year's team. And I'd like you to notice the Class 2s have just joined us all. And the leader, very strong personality, is Rebecca. So best of luck for next year's, guys. And we know you're going to be even better than this year, and it's going to take some jolly doing. Now, at this stage, if I may, I'd like to take the opportunity of thanking our sponsors. Without the sponsors, none of this would be possible. I can't thank the companies individually, but your help and input has been magnificent. And I hope you'll support us again next year. And I know that Becky here will be talking to you before you're allowed to leave this evening. So be aware, you're going to be approached. Now, one of our long-standing patrons, Rupert Bravery, has given up much of his time and help and advice, and of course, involving the help and the expertise of Mobile One as well. And I'd ask that Rupert, if you wouldn't mind, Rupert, if you could come forward and address us for a few minutes. Give your thoughts.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rupert Bravery, as Dick said, from ExxonMobil. I can just about see you all there with a light shining in my face. From our perspective as a company, it is vitally important that companies that have the opportunity that we do to support engineering and science do so. Because engineering and science are vital if society that we live in is to progress and make life better for a world which is now full of 7 billion people, a lot of whom are struggling to improve their lives and come out of the type of life they live in. I work for the company covering some of the poorer and more disadvantaged parts of the world. And really, from our perspective, the way that we as society can help them is by improving their lot. It's really important that we encourage these guys and support these guys, because they are the lifeblood of society. I mean, everybody has a part to play, but I believe that scientists and engineers have a particularly important part to play. And I can say that without any form of favoritism, because I'm an alumnus of this university from the arts side. I'm an economist. What do I know? I can pontificate and theorize. But from my perspective, the reality is these guys. So we're really happy to support them, really happy to support the university. And as somebody said, this is I thought it was our 7th year of doing this, but maybe it felt like it. But it's great fun to work with these guys and girls. I think I've said before, that for me, it's an indulgence. I really, really do like interfacing with them. And I look upon it when I come here as an illicit pleasure that takes me away from the more mundane work that I do in emergency response. Anyway, thank you very much. And I look forward to continuing to support this team. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rupert. That was splendid. We were hoping to have Johnson Bihari, Victoria Cross here today, but he's sick, unfortunately. He's lost his voice completely, and he said it wouldn't be the same, and he didn't want to pass the bug on to anybody else. Well, why did we talk about him? Apart from being one of our super patrons, and he's helped us out by inspiring the students on many occasions, you'll notice at the back of the hall here, we've got a bucket, and we're asking for donations for Help the Heroes. For a nominal £10, you can have your photograph positioned on the car, £5 of which goes to Help for Heroes, which is really, really excellent. Now, I'm asking Harry to present a cheque to Rupert, who will pass it on to Johnson. So, Harry, if you could pass the cheque on, please.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, everybody, you've been very patient. We're getting very close now to the magical moment, the unveiling of the car. However, this year is very, very special. We have a mobile work of art. Thus, without further ado, I ask that you all watch the internationally acclaimed artist María in action, painting the body of this year's car.
Without movement, there is no life. So I think it's a work of art full of life. This is how I feel. I always want to paint a car, always, because I like to paint velocity. I was working with the color from Michael Hardy that drives very fast, and so it was a combination of all this kind of technology and creativity. My work is totally spontaneous and accidental, but I did have some plan in the sense that all my life I have a devotion by Futurismo. All these incredible artists that belong to this movement start to paint about speed, velocity, energy, dynamismo, and it was exactly what I was trying to do here, that each brush stroke that I was doing be full of movement. One of the things that I did in this car is to incorporate 4 wheels. The first wheel is about movement. The other wheel is the wheel of creativity. The other wheel that you cannot see on the right-hand side of the car is because it's hid by the ocean. And the other wheel is the wheel of energy that is given by the sun. Well, I always work very fast. I feel like I was driving the car with colors, and I love the idea of be fast than the sound and the light. And it's exactly what we were trying to do, conquistar el tiempo, la velocidad, how fast we can go. When you finish a real work of art? Never, really.
There are 2 additional patrons I must mention. Jerry Holroyd has given a huge amount of his time to help the team, and it's greatly appreciated by all of us, but particularly Mrs. Holroyd for allowing him to come. So we really, really appreciate that. And another famous patron who unfortunately this year hasn't been able to give as much time as he would like is Richard Noble, the world land speed record gentleman. He's 100% tied up at the moment with his 1,000 mile per hour Bloodhound project, which is coming along really very well indeed. But he sent his very best wishes, and he's looking forward to hearing of great things from the university when we perform in July. So Richard Noble wishes you well, guys, which is great. Back to the car. We're getting closer and closer, so curb it. Control yourselves, please. A little bit what we've done. You've noticed in the corner there, we have a fiberglass body, which María has just painted for us. From that, a wrap has been produced to put on the carbon fiber lightweight body shell here. It sounds easy. It's not. It involved a significant amount of computer development work to ensure that a 2-dimensional wrap fits a 3-dimensional body. Not an easy thing with a very complex body. Another first for Sussex University, and Dr. Phil Watten and his team are to be congratulated, as indeed are Sussex Signs, who produced it and made it, and fitted it to the car for us. Now, at this point, I would like to invite Marco Gilardi to come forward. Marco is a PhD student at Sussex, and has been instrumental in turning this piece of artwork into the car you see at the moment. And María, will you please come forward? Now, María, we as a team can never adequately thank you for what you've done. And, well, we hope you accept this nominal thing. Remember us nicely when you see it. Mia, thank you.
Fantástico. Me encanta. Gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We hope it brings you very happy memories when you look at it. Thank you, Mia. Now, we're very honoured this evening to have Her Majesty the Queen's representative, the Lord Lieutenant of Sussex, Mr. Peter Field. Sir, would you kindly come forward and say a few words prior to the unveiling of the car?
Madam Mayor, Pro Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure and honour for me to be here to unveil this car, but I'm being assisted by the Mayor of the City of Brighton and Hove this evening, so it's a very special occasion for both of us, I think, to actually do this. We've heard the story. It's an amazing piece of work that the students do and the sponsors and the staff and everybody coming together to build this wonderful piece of equipment here, this wonderful car, which I am sure is going to win this year. You nearly did it last year, and I hope this year you're going to remember that it is a work of art that's going around the circuit, not just a car. But do take risks, do take enough risks to actually take it right the way through. As Dick said, I am the Lord Lieutenant of East Sussex, which means that I'm Her Majesty's representative. So it gives me great pleasure tonight to not only to wish the team every success in their venture, but also I can give this car the royal seal of approval.
Thank you, Peter. If you'd mind standing. Lady Mayor, please. And if you would stand at the back of the car in a moment and get hold of the magical cloth. And I'm going to give you a countdown. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go!